Yo, good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time you're tuning into this broadcast. This is Issues, Coach Ish, whatever you want to call me. Back with another video. Let's talk some boxing. Okay, so it took me a couple days to do my follow-up video about Chris Eubank Jr. and Liam Smith reaction after the fight reaction. I apologize for that. I had a show this Saturday, and I wound up losing my voice. As you can kind of hear it now, it's still kind of on the mend. But Sunday and Monday, I pretty much was on the mend. Just try to rest my voice and get it back to normal. I completely destroyed it, in a show Saturday night in Athens, Georgia. It was a dope show. Wound up, tearing it down, but it was costly. So I'm here. I'm back. So reactions to Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Smith. First of all, um, you know, uh, Eubanks proved me wrong. Proved me wrong, and that's a good thing. I don't mind being wrong. When you wrong, you learn. You know what I'm saying? And I learned something about Chris Eubank Jr. that gave me a whole nother appreciation for him. Three things that I seen different in the second fight that I didn't see in the first fight. First of all, I was wrong about his ability to change, to change up, to be coachable, to change up. Bomac made huge improvements to his game from the first fight to the second fight. Um, three major changes that I seen off the rip. Number one, he kept his hands up. Kept his hands up. Whole fight, he kept his hands up. First fight, his hands was here. Okay, one hand was out or down. Okay, his other hand was here. This fight, he kept his hands here. Okay, so that's one. First fight on defense, he was relying more on slick movements and not really being defensively responsible. That's how he got clipped, right? A lot of hands down, head movement, you know, especially in the corners. Like he'll get to the corners and, again, just too much emphasis on the flash and the pizzazz. This fight, he was more defensively responsible. One, he kept his hands up. Two, he rarely went to the corners. And three, instead of his knee-jerk reaction in this fight was to tie up. Instead of getting into those situations, he'll just tie Liam Smith up, right? He'll just tie him up. You know what I'm saying? Which I thought was brilliant. Excellent work off the jab. Kept the jab out there. Kept it active. Um, you know, shout out to Bomac because he really had him coming in there. He was able to get Chris to make the necessary adjustments that he needed to make, and he did. So, I was questioning whether that would be the case, based on things that I've seen, things that I've heard, and I must say that I was pleasantly surprised. He fought a really good fight. Now, Liam Smith did look a little off, but that's never an excuse. That's not an excuse. Once you step in the ring, if you off enough, if you feel like you off enough to offset the fight a little bit, that you're not coming in 100%, then cancel the fight. Once you step in the ring, then there's no excuses. Unless you get injured in the ring, then that's something different. You know what I'm saying? But, to go in the ring not 100%, that's a choice you make. So, but, I mean, to be fair, he did kind of look a little off. His offensive output wasn't the same as the first fight. But that also could have been, because of the work Eubanks was doing. You know what I'm saying? So, regardless of all that, Chris Eubank Jr. got his revenge. Good on him. Shout out to McIntyre. Shout out to Brian McIntyre, who showed what a good coach can do. What a good coach can do, and I was happy to see that. But that's segueing me into the other side of it, which is so Bomac goes over there and coaches Eubank, and then gets arrested for gun possession, which is crazy. First of all, nobody wants to get arrested in another country. That's like the worst thing. That's the worst. That's way worse than getting arrested in this country. You know what I'm saying? Like getting arrested in another country sucks. I've never been arrested in another country. Came close one time in South Africa, and yeah, I was shook. I was shook. My situation wound up just being a shakedown for some money, and I gave it to him. You know what I'm saying? I gave it to him. All they had to do was threaten me with jail. You know what I'm saying? I gave it to him. Yeah, you got it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to see the inside of no South African jail, and I'm an American. Nah, son, I'm cool. So, getting arrested overseas is probably the worst thing ever as for an American. So that's number one. I'm not sure what happened. I will say this. You know, I've heard conflicting stories. I'm not gonna get into too much of it until the facts come out. Um, I'm not sure how it happened. Some saying that it could be a setup. You know what I mean? I did see a video where he made a comment about somebody trying to get him for his wallet. Last time he was out there, you're not going for that this time. Man, listen, I'm a gun toting dude. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons why I live in Georgia. You know? I could, I moved from up north, New Jersey, a long time ago. That was one of the reasons. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons why my pop moved from New Jersey to Georgia as a kid. And then when I moved back to New Jersey, I moved back to Georgia. So, you know what I'm saying? I could tote that hammer. I'm a hammer toting dude. Like I've been like that ever since I've been in high school though. So, you know what I mean? My father is like that. So that's kind of what I grew up with. But you will never catch me taking my ratchet overseas. You know what I'm saying? I would either A, hire security, B, become more just if I feel like the place where I'm at is a dangerous area, you know what I'm saying? Then I might have to secure my valuables, and you know what I mean? Don't carry no cash, or you get my wallet, you just get cards, and I could cancel those. You know what I mean? But that sense of having some sort of protection. You know what I mean? If you can grab something over there, cool, leave it there. You know what I mean? But it's never a good idea to carry a firearm to the airport for no reason. You know what I'm saying? No reason whatsoever. Somebody also said that, I think they came over, they went there on a private jet, you know what I'm saying? Where, you don't have to necessarily get your bags checked and all that. Could be the case. I'm hoping that it wasn't his choice, um, to carry that firearm, a loaded firearm too, loaded firearm. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. And now that could jeopardize, everything Crawford got going on moving forward with the rematch and certain things like that. It's actually a good time for Errol Spence to go for that rematch. You know what I mean? It may or may not do anything because Terrence Crawford got a training team, and just like Floyd Mayweather was, when he hit his stride. Once you get to a certain point, you know what to do. You know what I'm saying? You know what to do. You know how to train. And, I'm pretty sure somebody in Bomac's camp could step up for Bomac. But Bomac is irreplaceable in that camp. And you can already see what he was able to do with Chris Eubanks to show how valuable he is as a coach. So that's a huge blow. If he's not going to be available, that's going to be a huge blow. You know what I'm saying? For Crawford's next fight to go into Crawford's, go into Crawford's corner. Um, so that's and that could be a huge blow. That could be a huge thing. So we're watching the story closely. You know what I'm saying? I'll report on it more as it unfolds. But that sucks, man. It's a terrible situation. That's a terrible situation. Get caught up because in the UK, like they big on gun crimes and gun possession and stuff like that. It ain't like the States. Like they hard on that. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he should have learned, or they should have learned. If it wasn't a setup, somebody put the gun in his bag. You know what I'm saying? Set him up. If it was him doing it, then he should have learned from Brittany Griner. You know what I'm saying? And that whole Brittany Griner situation. You never want to get caught slipping like that. And even coming from me, who's a person who I take my gun everywhere. That's a lot of times why sometimes when I travel, I drive instead of fly or take what I'm saying, alternative transportation. I'd rather just rent a car and drive. You know what I'm saying? That way, and I like to go to states where, my carrying permit is valid. You know what I'm saying? But going overseas, you know what I'm saying? In fact, I'm about to take the wife to Puerto Rico. Well, that's not even overseas. That's still here. You know what I'm saying? In a sense or whatever. I'm about to take the wife to Puerto Rico. That's one of the things I thought about. Like, because when I go overseas and stuff like that, like I don't necessarily like to limit myself to just the safe places. You know what I'm saying? I probably won't do that with the wife in Puerto Rico, but so I'm always thinking about some type of weaponry or you know what I'm saying, everyday carry. You know what I'm saying? But I had to come up with some different alternative. I'm not taking my firearm. I'm not even trying to risk that at all. You know what I'm saying? So I wish Bomac all the success in the world. I'm hoping that he comes out on the winning side of this. I'm hoping that he can get back to the States, you know what I'm saying, sooner than later. I think it's a very unfortunate situation, and we'll see where it goes. On that note, I'm out. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Let's talk about it. Peace.